Hi guys, it's Night Fear, and I'm coming on today to do my final wrap-up for the NEWTS Readathon that was held all during the month of August. I have failed, guys. I had 2 career paths that I was going for, and I didn't get either one of them. So, yeah, I did finish. I have lots of lists and things here. I did complete 4 classes completely finished. I did a video, parts 1 and parts 2 for this readathon. I completed all of astronomy, all of charms, and all of potions that have already been videoed. So I'm not gonna rehash that. I will link my playlist down below, so if you're curious about the books I was supposed to read for this, and the ones I finished, the other books I finished besides the ones I'm going into on this video, I'll link that all in that playlist. Now the one that I finished recently that I have not videoed as yet is Defense Against the Dark Arts. I just completed that yesterday, so I wanted to go through real quick and let you know what books I finished for that. So, the first prompt for A, it was a book that's black under the dust jacket, and for that one I read Beneath the Sugar Sky by Seanan McGuire. This is the 3rd book in the Wayward Children series, so I can't really go into it. These stories are kind of, they're like continuing but not. So this one more continues a little bit from the first one, from what happened in the first one. But it's a totally different story, and our focus is on kind of other characters. And this one is about a girl who comes in looking for her mother, only to find out that her mother has died, and that she needs her mother to save the world as they know it, because it's gone back to a time before her mom. Just a bunch of stuff. I ended up giving this one 3 stars. It was alright. I think these books need to be maybe a little longer to kind of like go into more detail or something. I don't know. I like the writing. I really like Seanan McGuire. I really like the ones that they write under Mira Grant. I love those books. But I haven't had success when they write as Seanan McGuire. So, I don't know. Because the first one I didn't like at all. The second one was pretty good. I did like that one. And this one was okay. It wasn't a bad book. It's not a bad book at all. It just didn't... I wanted a little bit more to the story. Christopher, be careful, baby. And I didn't think that there was enough, I guess. But I really love their writing style. So, but I am going to continue with the series because I am curious on what happens to these characters. So I will be continuing, definitely. And these books are queer, which is really awesome. And so, you know, if you want something kind of short and queer and, you know, that's not extraordinary in my opinion, but it's just a quick read, a quick, easy, fun read, that I would recommend these, I think. Okay, so the next one is the Gilderoy's Memory Charm, and for that one, when G from Book Roast, when she was doing her video, we had to think immediately of a book, and I've been reading the Artemis Fowl series. It's a read-along, and actually their video is going to be up, or their live is going to be up today. So, but we've been reading the Artemis Fowl books, and this is the last one. I'm pretty sure this is the last one. But this is The Last Guardian, and this is by Ian Colfer. So I immediately thought of this one when she was talking about, you know, to the first book, that pops into your head. because I wanted to finish this, and I knew I wanted to finish this book. I gave this one a 4 stars. I enjoyed this one. Christopher, go on, baby. I really enjoyed this one. I really actually enjoyed this whole entire series. And it's cool because I never would have read this series, honestly, if I hadn't have joined in on this read along, because I don't know, for some reason it just didn't sound good, but it was really good. I really liked the way they told, or where he incorporated the Fae. I really enjoyed it. I'm really happy that I finished it. I would recommend this series. It is a middle grade series, so, I mean, you have to keep that in mind, but, I mean, I enjoyed it. I believe there are other books, that continue with different characters from this, and I have to check that out. I might enjoy reading those. I don't know. Well, I'll have to think about it, but I definitely would recommend Artemis Fowl. Okay, and then for the O for Defense Against the Dark Arts, it's Cornish Pixie Swatted Away with a book written by an English author or set in England. This one was this set in England? I'm honestly not. No, I think this is set in a fictional world. But the author is English. Sorry about that. He's hyper today for some reason. But this is Pantomime by Laura Lamb. I absolutely love this book. I gave it 5 stars. I think this is probably the favorite book that I read during this readathon. And actually, from all the books that I read in August, I think this is my favorite. And this is definitely, I'm sure, going on a list for my favorites for 2019. Because I really love this book. It is a series. There are 2 other books after this. Unfortunately, my library, both and physical library and Scribd, they don't have the next 2 books. So I'm going to have to figure out if I can get them somewhere used, maybe, or maybe I can request that my library get it and maybe wait. I have requested both of the second and the third from my e-library, but sometimes it takes a while. But anyway... So this book is about... Okay, now I have to refer to this one a little differently because the character in this one, there's something special about the character, and I do not want to spoil you for what it is. So I'll just refer to the main character as the character, and then when you read it, you will figure out why I did that. Or if you have read that, you'll understand. So, the main character ends up running away from home, and they join a circus / carnival, because it's like it's a circus, and then there's a carnival after the circus, so it's kind of you get that circus carnival vibe from that. So they join the carnival, and a lot of things happen. They discover a lot about themselves. It's also a magical world, so there's 2 different stories. It's a lot with it's Christopher. There's a lot with the magic going on, and then there's a lot going on with this character, and this character trying to figure out who they are and what they want, what they want their life to be, and such as that. So, and it is a queer story, and so if you enjoy that, there are some dark topics and some dark things going on in this book. So just I usually do not do trigger warnings, but for this book I would be careful because it does delve into some dark stuff. So I'm not going to go into specific trigger warnings because I don't like that, because it kind of spoils, I like to be in the moment and not looking for something to happen. So, but just be aware, if you have anything that triggers you, dark things that trigger you, I'm not sure this book would be for you. But if not, I would highly recommend Pantomime. I really would. And isn't this cover gorgeous? I don't know. I love the cover, the mask, and everything. So, but those are the Defense Against the Dark Arts books that I read. So that was the last class that I needed to do a video on. Kaylin! All right. So I ended up reading 22 books for this readathon. But only 17 of them counted because you have to have them in order because you have to read the A, the E, and then the O. But in one of her videos, Book Rose said you don't really have to read them in order, but for them to count, you have to, have them in that order. So 5 of the books that I read ended up not counting because I ended up not reading the books that came before them. So, but I want to go over the partial classes that I completed, and then I want to share the books that I read but that don't count, because because some people like to hear about those books because, hold on 1 second, I gotta take a drink. Sorry. But some people like to hear about those books because when I listed them, people are wanting to know what I thought of the book. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you about them. So let's do the list of the books that that counted first. So the first one, Ancient Runes, I did complete the A, and for that one it was AWA's partnership, book recommended by a friend. And for this one, I read a book that was recommended by Clint from Reed's Readers. And I do talk about him a lot. He is a friend. We're going to be buddy reading a book this week together. He hosts several different readathons. And yeah, I really enjoy his company. He's a lot of fun. So, but anyway, for that one, he recommended Sundays at Tiffany's by James Patterson. This is a book about a girl who had an imaginary friend. On her 9th birthday, he left. And then as an adult, he shows up again. So it was a little, no, I actually didn't end up reading that book. Oh yeah, and I got to take that back. So if you want to read it, you need to read it in the next couple days.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, sorry guys. So yeah, I read it. It was a cute little romance. It was kind of like I know they have a movie. I haven't watched the movie yet. But it was like a Hallmark movie. It really, that kind of, it reminded me, but in book form. I gave it 3 stars. I enjoyed it. It was okay. It wasn't anything that I would, talk about forever. But it was good. I did enjoy it. So, but that's that one. And that's all I completed for Ancient Runes. Then the next one is Divination. And for Divination, I read for the A, and it's Rita White book. And for this one, I read Between Shades of Grey by Ruta Sepetys. Oh my goodness. This book was... wow. This book was... wow. Yeah, wow. This is set during World War II, but it's a different take on a World War II book. Because with this one, where are they? They live in... is it Latvia? And it doesn't say. They live in I think it was Latvia, but don't quote me on that. But they live in a country that the Soviet Union was kind of invading. And because they want to get rid of the people in the country, her family, or not necessarily, but they wanted to take anybody that was causing problems away, so that they would, they could just easily slide in and take over the country. And so this young girl and her family are taken and sent to Siberia. And of course, it's very hard-hitting, very powerful. They rode in the trains. It wasn't concentration camps necessarily, but it was similar. and it told a story that I hadn't heard a lot about. And it was really good. It was really hard hitting, and I love that Ruta Sepetys, she takes her notes and stuff, or her ideas, and she gives you a story in the back in her author's notes about the real history, and it amazes me. She did that again for the other book. Let me think. What was it called? It doesn't list it. Of course it doesn't. I read another book by her, which I can't remember the name of it right this second. And I really enjoyed that too. So I'm definitely going to be reading some more of her books. I really like this type of historical fiction. And I would highly recommend this book, especially if you like things about World War II. And learning about that. So that's that. Okay. Oh yeah. So we have herbology. I finished the A, and for that one it was Mandrake. Quick, put your headphones on and listen to an audiobook. And I did. I listened to the whole thing in audio, even though I do have the physical book too. And that was Fire by Kristen Kishore. This is a companion to Graceling. One of the characters from Graceling is in this book, but just one. It's a different country, kingdom, however you want to think of it. And so different things are going on, and this girl named Fire is a monster. I think that's what they call her. She's part monster. I think that's... human monster. She's a human monster. And she can read minds. And it's really a good book. I really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed the audiobook. I gave it... I gave Between Shades of Grey 4 stars. And I gave this one 4 stars also. I will be reading Bitter Blue, I think is the next one, the last one in this. I will be continuing the Graceling series and reading that one soon. But I really enjoyed this book. So, okay. So our next one is Muggle Studies. And for that one, for the A, it was cover that includes an actual photo element. Now, this was not the book that I originally was going to read for this, but this one came into my library. I saw it. I wanted to read it. And the one that I originally wanted to read for this one, I started it and it just wasn't a bad book or anything. I just wasn't in the mood. So I stopped, and then I read this one because I saw, that's a photo, that's a picture of this girl. And that's Kill the Queen by Jennifer Estep. This is another series. It's A Crown of Shards is the series name. And this is about a world where there is magic, and there's different kinds of magic. Like, there's different sections of magic. But those that have different kinds of magic, or magic that's not as strong, are called mutts. Okay? So that's kind of an important thing. But our main character is... She's 16th in line, 17th in line. I can't remember. Hold on. 17th in line for the queen, to be queen. So she doesn't think she'll ever have a chance to be queen. And she is a mutt. She has mutt magic, and her mutt magic is she has a very keen sense of smell. And so because she is not strong in magic, she kind of gets, put in the attic, and she's, she does all the tasks that nobody else in her family wants to do. So what happens is that she ends up, almost her whole family ends up getting killed, and she runs away because she doesn't want to be killed, and she ends up joining a gladiator troupe, and then other things happen. And it's just, oh, it was so good. I really like the world. I really like the magic system is really kind of cool. There are other things that she can do, which I'm not going to go into because, you know, that's one of those things that you find out as the book goes along. But yeah, I'm definitely going to continue. I'm not sure if the second book is out or not yet. So I will have, because this came out, I think, last year. So I will have to find that out. But yeah, I would highly recommend this one. Especially if you like, you know, like queen, princess, drama kind of things. And I'm really finding out I do like that trope, because I don't know why, I just do. Okay. Oh, this is taking forever. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so Transfiguration is the last one that I've completed, and I finished the A in that one, and that was a book with LGBTQIA plus representation. And for that one, I read the sequel to Heart of Iron, that's Soul of Stars by Ashley Poston. This, oh yeah, and I gave, oh wait, hold on. What did I give that one? I think I gave Kill the King of 5. Hold on a second, guys. Muggle Studies. Yes, I gave that one 5 stars. The Kill the King. Or Kill the Queen, I mean. I gave that one 5 stars. I also gave this one, Soul of Stars, 5 stars. Wow, that was weird. Highly enjoyed this book. Would highly recommend this duology. I think this is it. I think it is just a duology because of the way this one wrapped up. I do not think there's going to be any more books. But I hope Ashley Poston writes more sci-fi, because this was just an amazing book. It's about a girl who, she is a space pirate. Well, she's not. She's a crew with space pirates. And she has a friend who's an AI, and in this world, same-sex couples it's like a norm kind of a thing. And so we see, as we're going along in these books, we see several different couples. We do have different points of view, and one of our points of view is from a same-sex couple. Cutest relationship ever. You watch it start, and it is such a cute relationship. But basically, both of the two books is her, the main character. Well, she's not a main, but I don't know, because there's different points of view. But for me, she's like the main character that we're kind of following. But her whole goal through both of these books is basically to save her friend, the AI. And yeah, and we find out why or how the AIs were made. And that's a whole thing. It just, I'm not describing it very well, guys, because I don't want to spoil anything. And I really want you to go read Heart of Iron and then Soul of Stars. If you like queer sci-fi, yeah, these are, I mean, just amazing. The relationships, you know, you have some political stuff going on. We are traveling in space. We're on different planets. We're, you know, battling different things. There's just, I mean, so many things going on in these books, and yet it's such an amazing story. It just, oh my goodness. And like I said, I really hope she writes more sci-fi, because I love these books. So go now. Go read Heart of Iron. Go check it out from your library. Check it out from, you know, Scribd. Go check it out somehow. Somehow check these books out and read them, please. Because, yeah. Those in Pantomime. Yes, both of those. I would highly recommend. Okay. Now, for those lovely books that don't count that I read, but I want to tell you about. So we're almost done, guys. So the first one is Care of Magical Creatures. I didn't finish my A, and so this was for the E, and I unfortunately it doesn't count. But it's for the book under 300 pages. And for that one I read Castle in the Sky by Hayao Miyazaki. Yeah, I think it's Miyazaki. This, I gave this one 3 stars because it is basically just, I mean, it's not, they took clips from the actual movie and put it in a book form. And I didn't like that. I do not think I'll be continuing with this. It just, I don't know. I would have rather somebody drawn this and taken their own perspective of the story than just taking the movie and putting it in book form. So, but the story was cute. From what I mean, it was hard to get the gist of the story because a lot of it, there's nothing. I mean, see, it's just, well, that's not a good example. But a lot of it, there's no words. It's just pictures. It's just, I don't know. I didn't like it. But I want to watch the movie. And I've been wanting to watch the movie of this. But basically, I think it's about a girl whose necklace, whose pendant lets her fly, and then there's all these people chasing her, and this boy helps her. That's basically from what I gather of the story. Who knows? But anyway, so yeah, that's the first one that doesn't count. And then for the next one, it's Divination. I showed you the book I read for A. I didn't get the one for E done. So this one I read for the O, and that's the read the last book you bought, took out from the library. And for that one, I read White Hot Kiss by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the first book in the Dark Elements. I read... Oh no, I knew I was going to forget the name of this. She has a brand new series out that just came out. It's a Gargoyle series, but it's after this series, so it has a couple of the characters in this one and that one. And so I decided to go back and read this series before the next one comes out in that later series, if that makes any sense. But I really enjoyed this. I really like it's gargoyles and demons, and it's kind of like shadow hunting, or the shadow hunters story. It's kind of like that, but with gargoyles instead of the shadow hunters. So the gargoyles are the shadow hunters. The gargoyles are the ones that hunt the demons. So yeah, and I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I gave it 4 stars. I will be continuing. I actually have the next book on hold, and hopefully I'll be getting it soon, or I probably would have already read it by now, but my library, I don't have the physical copies. I have to wait for my, for the ebook on, and other people have it out, so I just have to wait. But yeah, I don't know, if you like the Shadow Hunters, I've seen the movie, and I've seen like the first, I think, 2 seasons of Shadow Hunters. But if you like that kind of story, I've never read the books, so I can't compare the books. But if you like that sort of story, I think I would recommend this, that you might like White Hot Kiss. So yeah. Okay. The next one is Herbology. I read the A, didn't read the E, and so this one would have been for the O if I would have finished it. And that's Winter Song by S.J. Jones. Now, this is a strange book. Oh, and this was read a book with a flower on the cover. So, flower on the cover. This is a weird book because I've heard such bad things about this book. And I had it out before, and I let the hype of it being so bad get to me, and I returned it. And so I was like, no. As soon as I read the flower on the cover, I was like, no, I'm going to read this book. I read it. I gave it 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the Goblin King. I enjoyed her and the, because this is a retelling of the Labyrinth. And so I enjoyed it. And I'm going to continue and read the next one and see what it's about. But I don't know. I guess I have different tastes than a lot of people, and I'm not looking if I enjoy a book, then I'm going to enjoy that book. I'm not looking for, perfect writing or anything like that. But I enjoyed it. And like I said, it's a retelling of the Labyrinth. A little different. But yeah, and it's got goblins in it, and it has the Goblin King, and I don't know, I really liked it. So I'm excited that I got past the negative connotation of it and went ahead and just read it. So the next one is History of Magic. For this one, I didn't read the A, and this one would have been the E. And that's Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. This is kind of a combination of Mulan retelling and Project Runway. It is about a girl who's... This is it's Asian inspired, obviously. But, and in her world, girls they can't be tailors. And her father is a tailor, and some things happen, and he's kind of down on his luck, and he can't really... She's the one that basically runs the shop. But no one knows. And so when a servant of I think it's the Emperor, King, whatever he is, comes and says, hey, we need your dad to come to compete in this tournament, she decides that there's no way that her father is going to be able to do that, so she dresses as a boy and she goes to compete to be the tailor for I think it's the Emperor, for the Emperor, and a lot of things happen, and she has these magic scissors, and it's just, it's so good, and I cannot wait for the next one. And yes, this one did just come out, so it's going to be a little bit of a wait for the next one, but yeah. And I gave this one, I gave this one 5 stars. I really, really enjoyed this one. So if you like Asian type books, I would recommend this one. Okay. Now, our very last book is for Muggle Studies. Now, I did complete the A. Did not complete the E. This would have been for the O. And that's Hurricane Child by Kieran Callender. They have changed their name since this book was written. And I can't remember right now what the name... Did I write it down? Yes, it's Kacen now. Kacen. I'm not sure the why, and I'm going to use they, them pronouns because I have a feeling that would be appropriate. So that's what I'm going to use. But this was about a girl who is born during a hurricane. She is not liked in her school. She has a lot of things happen to her. And then a new girl comes to her school, and she ends up having a crush on this girl, and so there's a lot of things going on, and she finds out some things about her mom, who has left the family, and there's just a lot of stuff going on. I gave this 3 stars. This wasn't a bad book. Okay, let me say that. I just didn't get sucked into the story. I had to kind of push myself to read a lot of it. It was kind of slow in parts. I will try again with this author to read this author because I did enjoy the story. As a whole, I just didn't get immersed like I like to for my 4 and 5 star books. So, but yeah, I would recommend. It's a short book. It is a middle grade story, but yeah. So, all right, guys. So that is my failure of a readathon for the NEWTS. Like I said, I didn't complete any of, or I completed some, but not all of the classes that I needed to complete for the Magizoologist and the Librarian. I'm sure I probably could have gone through and found a career that would have fit the 4 classes that I completed and the partial classes. But I just didn't want to do that because I wanted to be those two things. So all I can say is next year I'm going to concentrate just on the NEWTS. I'm not going to do any other readathons in the month of August. I'm going to try again to complete the 36 books because obviously I failed. I only did, 22 and 17 counted. So, and I don't know, I didn't, reading was a struggle this month. I mean, I did complete, I think, 26 books total, or I read 26 books this month, which is not bad, but it's not, I could have done better. I had some issues going on this month, so, but it's okay. It's just a readathon. It's not going to kill me. And I did read a lot of great books. I found some new favorites authors, and yeah, so, but thank you very much for watching. Remember to always be kind to one another, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Bye.